There's a guy over in Oakland, I think his name is Van
Jones.
Yes. And he and I were on a cruise last summer in the Arctic for climate change. And I got to know him very well, and a lot of the work that he's doing to enfranchise broader communities, I am a big fan of. He's done a marvelous job.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So is he going to put someone in charge of what he's doing here in Oakland? Or?
He's going to have to just bring some leader, I guess. But he's doing very important.
He really is. I'm a huge fan of his. He is very bright, very articulate, very passionate. Yeah, passionate.
Yes. I had to hug him after I heard him speak.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing.
Yeah. So I think he's exactly right.
Green job czar Van Jones. This guy is an avowed, self-admitted communist and a radical activist who co-founded the communist group Storm. That group describes themselves and their activities, and I quote, "We upheld the Marxist critique of capitalist exploitation. We agree with Lenin's analysis of the state and the party, and we found inspiration and guidance in the insurgent revolutionary strategies developed by third world revolutionaries like Mao Zedong and some other guy he named his kid after. We need to be about the expletive, somebody's expletive, somewhere. They have names and job descriptions. You have to be creative about how you engage the enemy. Because if you do it on his terms, the outcome is already known.
Do whatever you can to get more petroleum into the system. And we heard our president saying just that. That's what he wants to do. And I hate to say this, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but the president of the United States sounded like a crackhead when he said that. A little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little more, a little more. A little bit more petroleum. I can get some more, just get some more. It was shameful. Am I wrong? Did you see this? Like a crackhead trying to lick the crack pipe for a fix.
All we do is take out the dirty power system, the dirty power generation in a system, and just replace it with some clean stuff. Put a solar panel on top of this system. But we don't deal with how we are consuming water. We don't deal with how we're treating our other sister and brother species. We don't deal with toxins. We don't deal with the way we treat each other. If that's not a part of this movement, let me tell you what you'll have. This is all you'll have. You'll have solar-powered bulldozers, solar-powered buzzsaws, and biofueled bombers, and we'll be fighting wars over lithium for the batteries instead of oil for the engines, and we'll still have a dead planet. This movement is deeper than a solar panel. Deeper than a solar panel. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. No, we're going to change the whole system. We're going to change the whole thing. Native American sisters and brothers who were pushed and bullied and mistreated and shoved into all the land we didn't want, where it was all hot and windy. Well, guess what? Renewable energy. Guess what? Solar industry. Guess what? Wind industry. They now own and control 80% of the renewable energy resources. No more broken treaties. No more broken treaties. Give them the wealth. Give them the wealth. Give them the dignity. Give them the respect that they deserve. No justice on stolen land. We owe them a debt. What about our immigrant sisters and brothers? What about people who come here from all around the world who we're willing to have out in the fields with poison being sprayed on them? Poison being sprayed on them because we have the wrong agricultural system. And then we're willing to poison them and poison the earth to put food on our table, but we don't want to give them rights, and we don't want to give them dignity, and we don't want to give them respect. We could have clean coal. I'm for clean coal, but I'll tell you what, if we're going to have clean coal, let's have a couple other things. We could have clean coal, or if we could power the country with clean coal, or we could have unicorns pull our cars for us, so, you know, all day. We could have that too.
Unicorns exist?
Equally fictitious, equally fantastical, equally ludicrous, you know. So You know, we could have the truth fairy bring us our energy at night. I mean, equally ludicrous.
We're really entering a third wave of environmentalism in the United States. The white polluters and the white environmentalists are essentially steering poison into the people of color communities.
All of Storm's members developed a basic understanding of and commitment to revolutionary Marxist policies, with a particular emphasis on the historical experiences of third world communist movements. Gee, would that be anything like Hugo Chavez's Venezuela? In jail, I met all of these young radical people of color. I mean, really radical. Communist and anarchist. And it was like, hey, this is what I need to be a part of. I spent the next 10 years of my life working with a lot of those people I met in jail, trying to be a revolutionary. I was a rowdy nationalist on April 28th, and then the verdicts came down on April 29th. By August, I was a communist, end quote. Well, that was 1992. Quote, I'm willing to forego the cheap satisfaction of the radical pose for the deep satisfaction of the radical ends. This guy is still a radical.
How were the Republicans able to push things through when they had less than 60 senators, but somehow we can't?
Well, the answer to that is they're assholes. That's a technical political science term. And Barack Obama's not an asshole. So, now, I will say this. I can be an asshole. And some of us who are not Barack Hussein Obama are going to have to start getting a little bit uppity.